There's a common assumption about reading that it's a way of leaving things, leaving your thoughts, leaving your day, leaving what you don't want to sit with, leaving what you can't acknowledge. And sometimes that's partly true. You do step into another world, another voice, another life. But if you pay attention closely, that's not always escape. Sometimes it's recognition. You don't pick up certain books randomly, you reach for them when something in you is already moving a certain way. You don't always say it out loud, but you know it internally. There are books you read when things feel light, and books you read when things feel heavy. And the strange thing is, you don't always want answers in those moments. You want something that can stay with you. Not fix you, not redirect you, just stay with you. Be your companion. This is where reading becomes something more than avoidance. It becomes acknowledgement, a way of saying, this is what I am in right now. Even if the book doesn't explicitly talk about your situation, you find yourself in its emotional atmosphere, a sentence, a tone, a character's silence. Something in it matches what you're carrying, and suddenly you don't feel as isolated in it. As a reader, I've noticed this personally too. There are periods when I gravitate towards certain writers, not because they explain things clearly, but because they don't rush past difficult states. They stay inside them long enough for you to recognize your own experience within it. That's very different from distraction. Distraction moves you away from what you feel. Literature at its deeper level can move you closer to it without forcing you to confront it directly. And writing works in the same way. When you take a page during emotional difficulty, you're not trying to escape what you feel. You're giving it a place to exist outside your internal pressure. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to turn it into insight immediately. You can simply write, I don't know how to sit with this, but I'm here. And continue from that. Because difficult emotions don't usually respond to quick solutions. They respond to presence, to being witnessed without being pushed away. And writing gives you that structure. Not by removing the feeling, but by changing your relationship to it. Instead of being inside the emotion completely, you begin to observe it from a small distance. Not enough to disconnect, just enough to not be consumed by it. That difference matters more than it sounds, because when you stop avoiding difficult emotions, you also stop building fear around them. You begin to recognize that you can stay, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't resolve things quickly. And over time, that becomes a kind of internal steadiness, not because life becomes easier, but because your capacity to stay with life increases. If you think about it, most emotional overwhelm doesn't come from the feeling itself, it comes from the urge to get away from it immediately. Writing interrupts that urge, not forcefully, just gently. It gives you a place to remain. And sometimes remaining is the most important step. So maybe it's not about how do you get rid of this feeling, but more about what happens if you stay with the emotion for just a little longer without trying to change it. Just take a page and write what is present, even if it feels heavy, even if it feels unclear, even if it feels disorganized. Because sometimes what changes you most isn't escaping difficult emotions. It's learning that you can stay with them and still remain with yourself at the same time.